Hello, random bot viewer. My fascination with AI started years ago. I was always a fan of Terminator, of Matrix, and science fiction, books, and movies in general. I do probably have a thing with machines, but can you blame me? Look at that. Anyway, I loved playing chess with a computer and imagine I was in some sort of mind game, Hikaru no Go style. But these are not AI. Not necessarily, at least. I guess my point is that I was always fascinated by artificial intelligence. And so when I was in college and we had mandatory IT and AI classes, I was very excited. But quickly disillusioned. Yeah. But I learned a lot, and it coincided with the explosion of AI in public discussion due to the massive spread of ChatGPT, AI chat, AI art, AI deepfake, and now fake content creation, which is really not a good timing for me to decide to make things like that. Music, skin replication, life partners, Musk, at this point, there's just too much, and it's hard to kind of grasp the idea of what AI even is if you haven't studied it, I think. We all understand it, but I see a lot of misconceptions or really weird way of talking about it that it kind of got me thinking. I was like, did I not really understand what it was? So I opened my old books, which were mostly online, and did some research, and I watched a lot of videos about AI, but it's almost like you have the expert side where it's mostly people talking about it to other people to teach them about the technology and how to use it, or people criticizing it and saying it's scary and it's bad and it's gonna kill creativity and stuff like that. So it was kind of difficult to find a middle ground. And so I guess I decided to just make a random video just to talk about the most popular AI misconceptions that I've seen online and in real life and decide to kind of give my take on them. I guess I just want to explain what it is without giving you a boring definition that you can look up yourself, I will spare you the history lessons like its creation and evolution. I will just start with a few misconceptions, then I will try to give a simple definition. Now, despite studying it, I don't feel like I'm an expert, so I'm just here to share my opinion, I guess. So if you're an expert or someone who's just passionate about it and I make some mistakes or I say things that you don't think are true, let me know. The first misconception that I do hear a lot is that AI is like an artificial human brain. The answer is yes and no. Because the human brain is very complex and has many functions, but AI is very limited and very simple by design, because it doesn't learn or work the same way we do. Now, it is not false to say that AI is similar to the human brain. It was literally modeled after our own nervous system, but it's much more efficient and much more stupid at the same time, obviously. It's just different. And I know maybe it's just a way to explain it in a very simple way. I'll explain what I mean. It's kind of like saying that The Sims is the artificial video game version of humans. Sure, it's similar, it's designed to be similar, but it will never be one-to-one. We don't jump in the air to change clothes, become mermaids, vampire, become a rocket scientist by bashing a rocket with a hammer for 5 hours. And Sims don't have social anxiety or restraining orders. It's a game. And AI is a technology. It's not sentient and it's not just a digital brain. Call me a nitpicky nerd, it's probably true, but I just don't like it when people say that AI is just an artificial human brain. In my opinion, it's more of a misleading oversimplification of a technology that is already kind of hard to understand. Second misconception: AI is intelligent. Well, despite its name, it's not. And that's funny because it was literally my first class in college. That's what the teachers told us. They ranted about how the name didn't fit and it was a shame that they still used it. And now looking back, I kind of agree because words can influence our perception. And I do think it's weird to call this intelligent because it's not really what it is. I think it's efficient, but it's not necessarily intelligent, at least not in the way we think of this word. When we look at a basic definition of intelligence, AI is machine learning. It can learn a lot and perform a lot of tasks and get better at it. It's this crazy black box, and that's why it's kind of unstoppable. At least that's what we think. But it's all based on data collection. Yes, good AI requires massive database and good examples. Humans learn in a very different way. We don't need to see 5,000 pictures of cute cats to recognize a cute cat or the letter F, but we also cannot draw a cat perfectly just after watching 5,000 pictures of cats without practicing it, you know? My point is that I cannot really call something intelligent when what it does is absorb something and mindlessly replicate it with some inputs. I would actually call that the opposite of intelligent and create something new. So it's like, maybe it's not a good example, but it would be like calling my printer smart, you know. I wouldn't call my printer smart, but I would call it very efficient and very good at what it does. And what it does is do something that humans cannot do, which would be replicate a perfect image. I mean, some human can do it, obviously, but that's where I think AI really thrives. It's when it's used to do something that no humans can easily do without wasting so much time and efforts. It's especially good at maths and things like that. And if you think calculating really fast automatically like a calculator is intelligence, then I would agree. But I don't really think that's what we think about when we talk about intelligence. So yes, it's a nitpick, but again, when people say, oh, AI is so smart, I just think we're just oversimplifying things. But to me, it's just a misconception. Now, maybe one day AI will be intelligent, but I think that day will come at a huge price, because what I mean by that is AI will be able to think and no longer need database or human inputs and stuff. So basically AI will be sentient and they will be our pals. Then yeah, sure, they can be called intelligent, but until then, not there yet. Also, despite some people's disdain for them, there is really nothing more intelligent than a toddler or a child. Think about it. They need to replicate and memorize super fast and engorge a lot of data and things around them. And they cannot be discouraged. And the way people talk about AI sometimes makes me think they're talking about a literal child who's going through his or her critical period, the time when they learn super fast, which is also why chess masters usually started when they were 2 years old or something, and babies randomly learn how to speak and walk way before you're ready for them to do so. Anyway, third misconception. AI is like an encyclopedia. It is not biased unless we give it fake information, and is always correct, objective and fair. Now, I don't think a lot of people believe that, but I heard that take before, that machine would be awesome judges and juries because they take just the facts, clues, anything else, they just throw away and they can give a perfect, unbiased and emotionless verdict. But if you've messed around with AI, I think you know it is not true at all. And it's kind of obvious why. It's because AI learns from us. So it will learn and acknowledge our own biases. And sometimes people don't even try to make it unbiased. Sometimes they literally make false narratives or things like that. I don't want to get into that. It's boring, but kind of sad. But it is what it is. So I think it's kind of not a good thing to teach kids or really anyone that AI is unbiased and it's this beautiful, neutral thing. AI will always be as biased as we are, so I think it will always be. Last misconception, AI is superior. It's a better version of our brain and it will destroy humanity. Yes and no again, but really no, at least hopefully, but I will try to explain why I don't think that's the case. I'm not gonna lie, I really dig the Dune and Terminator and Matrix stuff, like I said, but I don't think it will get there, not in that way, at least. I mean, I will shut up and apologize to Legion if we ever turn into our reality, but until then, I don't think we are gonna be destroyed because of AI. We're most likely to destroy ourselves, maybe kill creativity and artists, but not a literal AI going rogue and enslave us. I don't think so. The only way I can see that, like AI being superior and decided to destroy us, is if a human decides to do that using AI. It's not like a rock has survival instincts. It's not sentient yet. At that point, it would no longer be AI, but more like cybers or transhuman, which I'm excited about. Just kidding, it sounds horrifying, but I don't want to be pessimistic. But yeah, I don't really think that AI can really be superior to humans, at least not in the way we think. Yes, they will always be better than us at some tasks, and I think it's fine. We don't need mentats or, like remember in June, you know what I'm talking about? The human calculators, like it's super cool, but we don't really need that. I think it's perfectly okay to have AI being better than us in some areas, but it doesn't mean they are superior. Maybe I'm too optimistic, but I don't really like the doomsday scenario of AI being superior and human becoming obsolete. I think it's what some people say, maybe because they are afraid, but I think we are good. Yes, some sectors and some jobs will be completely taken over by humans using AI instead of hiring other humans, which is very, very sad. But it's not really AI being superior. It's just AI being cheaper. So if anything, you know what they say, when something is cheap, it's not because it's better. It's just because it's less good usually, but it's more affordable and easier to make profit using it. Maybe I am way too optimistic or dumb. I don't really know. I don't really have a proof. Maybe latest science papers are already saying that AI is becoming sentient. So what is AI? Well, machine learning, basically. It's boring, it's math, but not actual math, just boredom with symbols and numerals. Basically a machine that can learn almost on its own and use logic, math, to make decisions, learn even more and perform tasks with the help of algorithms and human input. Supervised, unsupervised, KNN, ANN, but we're not in school, so who cares? I mean, I don't have enough expertise in the subject to give you like a full lesson. I just wanted to talk about what it's not and misconceptions. In short, what makes AI so impressive to me and useful is its ability to learn and evolve on its own. It just saves time for real human, and it's a good technology in my opinion. It's just that it's kind of annoying to me that AI became this buzzword and it's either the boogeyman or the greatest thing ever. There is no balance in what I see, and it's annoying to see AI everywhere. It's like the new hot thing, and I'm just waiting for it to die down. At least I hope it's what's going to happen, because it's a good technology, but now it just became a mess, in my opinion. I think they should start teaching AI in school, and by that I mean what it is and what it can do, because it's confusing to everyone who doesn't look into it, I think. When you see Eliza, ChatGPT, AlphaGo, Stockfish AI, like, mixing game ones and natural language processing ones, or, the ones that just do statistics for you, it's kind of confusing. I think people get tired of seeing its placard everywhere. Maybe one day we will have the artificial generalized intelligence, which will be very scary, I think, and it will be superior to the human brain. At least that's what they want to do. I think OpenAI is working on it. But hey, we have some time. I think we can go and enjoy our lives and remember that at the end of the day, all AI does is replicate us because we're so perfect. Okay, that was bullshit. And you can hear my cat say hi Anyway, that's all I had to say, but I will leave you with my favorite Dune quote.
Once men turned their thinking over to machines in the hope that this would set them free, but that only permitted other men with machines to enslave them.
I read that in my most obvious robot voice. See ya!